Hi, I'm Wendy and I'm connecting with some of the talented people who are performing at the ninth Faversham Fringe, Faversham's very own Fringe Festival, which is running from the 3rd until the 26th of October. On Sunday, the 5th of October at 4 p.m. in the Alexander Centre, there will be a performance of Grandma's Shop. And today I'm talking to Julie about her show. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Wendy.
So, what inspired you to create this show, and does it differ from your previous works?
So, I had an itch to scratch around creating a solo show about 2.5 years ago, but I had no idea what my subject would be. I'd always fancied writing some theatre, and my brother actually found an article from The Guardian that had been written about my grandmother in 1989. And we knew it existed, but we'd not got a copy of it. But he had this new database, so he was experimenting, and he just sent it to me, and I read it, and I just thought, it brought so many memories coming back of my grandmother, who ran this incredible secondhand clothes shop in the centre of Sheffield, and I used to help her as a girl. And I thought, this is my starting point. This is my subject. And it went from there, really. So it differs from previous work in the sense I've never written a theatre piece before. I'm primarily an improviser, but I really wanted to do something that was different as a challenge to myself and actually to honour my grandmother.
I was going to say, what a wonderful personal journey you've been on writing it and recovering memories that you probably had lost until you revisited the subject.
Yes,
Fabulous.
absolutely.
So, in a few words, avoiding spoilers and the obvious, what is Grandma's Shop all about?
So it is about the eccentric cat-loving owner of a secondhand clothes shop in Sheffield. And really, it's about the impact that ordinary people at the centre of our communities have on different people's lives. So it's sort of a multi-character piece, and we learn about my grandma, through different customers who I imagine going into the shop based on my memories. We learn about her from other historical records that I've unearthed as part of this, and obviously other things from my own memory. And that's really what it's about. It's about love, it's about memory, and I think it's about acceptance as well. My grandma was probably went against the norm for an older woman of her time, and therefore she created quite an accepting place for others.
Hmm, it sounds really, really interesting. So, you've touched on it, but do you think there will be something within the show that will resonate with Faversham audiences, and why?
So I suppose I would say it's a universal story. I think if people delve back to their childhoods or even to right now, they may know shopkeepers and others who are like grandma. And I think smaller towns perhaps keep some of that essence of those sorts of people a little bit more than perhaps larger cities do. Um, and I think there were just universal themes around, grandparents and those sorts of relationships, and that idea of nostalgia. There's lots of kind of old carrier bags, vintage fashion in the show. Um, Obviously, that doesn't just resonate with Faversham, but I hope that it resonates with I don't know, audiences who like to kind of explore some of that nostalgia and a memory. And I've got fond memories because I performed it here in Faversham last year, and I got a lovely response. The audiences here are always lovely. So I thought, well, I'm going to bring the show back.
Ah, right, a second visit.
Mm.
So, do your audiences laugh more than cry during the show? And are there other emotions that it's going to pull from them?
Oh, it's a bit of both, Wendy. I joke that I like to make them laugh, make them cry. And it is a comedy, but also there are quite poignant moments. And interestingly, different things touch different people. And I performed this show last year in Edinburgh Fringe for 26 days. And, a whole mixture of emotions. Do have quite a few weepers at the end sometimes, but it's a joyous kind of emotion, really. People looking back, people being touched by it. So yeah, I think a whole roller coaster, quite a lot of laughter. um and a lot of, that kind of, reminiscence, that coziness of reminiscence.
A warm feeling of the past. Lovely, lovely. So you're performing solo on stage. Nerve-wracking and scary. Do you have any memorable moments that you'd like to share?
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, there's nowhere to hide when you're by yourself, but equally, you can't give anybody the wrong cue line. So there was a classic moment in Edinburgh. So although there are sound cues in my show, the only real sound cue I need is a very analog physical thing, which is an old-fashioned shop bell that I use. But in one performance in Edinburgh, I rang the bell and then the middle of it fell out. And I couldn't find it during the show. So I kind of broke the fourth wall and said to the audience, typical, that was my only sound effect that the manual one has broken. So they were just great. I sort of gave them a cue each time and they just made the noise. So
your audience might end up going ding dong.
You never know. That's where the improvisational skills probably come in quite handy.
Yes, they'll probably save you every time. So you've used lots of words of reminiscing, nostalgia. What's the one thing you hope that your fringe audience will take away from Grandma's shop?
I hope that they will take a moment to think about the extraordinary, ordinary people, either in their lives right now or who've been in their lives. Because I think there's a real focus on celebrity and famous people in today's culture, but actually just to take a moment to reflect on those ordinary people who might make a tiny but actually impactful difference for others.
Okay, so if you want to go to a show to reminisce, to perhaps have a touch of nostalgia, then book your tickets. Sunday 5th of October, 4 p.m. in the Alexander Centre. Get them online at favershamfringe.co.uk/what's-on, and ensure you and your friends have a time to reflect on real people, how values may have changed in your life. Don't miss this. Thanks, Julie, for talking to Radio Faversham and the people of Faversham today.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Lovely to talk to you.